Hey, Courtney, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. All right, I got 7 o'clock. Wow, podcasting live here. Welcome everyone to the October Planning Commission. We'll start off with a word of prayer, and then we'll do the pledge, and then we'll get into the business. So please stand. Father God, thank you for this day, and thank you for our city. Thank you for this commission, Lord, that is trying to do your will and make good decisions for our community. Pray that you'd bless the time this evening, and let it honor you in Jesus' name. Amen. Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, let's go ahead and open up our Board of Adjustment meeting. Roll call, please.
Young.
Here.
Lowe.
Here.
Ward.
Here.
Mowdy.
Here.
Bird. Here. Prater.
Here.
Knapp.
Here. All right, let's go ahead and get approval of our Board of Adjustment minutes from September. Do I have a motion to approve or any corrections or adjustments to those minutes? I'd entertain a motion to approve. Second. Where's the first? Motion. Motion. You're just trying to throw me off, aren't you? Got a motion from Ronnie and a second from Jim. Roll call, please.
Lowe. Ward.
Yes.
Mowdy.
Yes.
Bird.
Yes.
Prater.
Yes.
Knapp.
Yes.
All right, the minutes are approved. Let's go ahead and get into our Board of Adjustment meeting. We have 2 items here under new business. Kim, if you want to read those off, please.
Bradford Drive, existing private drive, variance to allow for a hammerhead, Lemons Engineering.
All right, Tim, I believe you wanted to discuss tabling these. If you want to come up here and make that official.
The variance that we're requesting is the ability to build a couple of hammerheads as opposed to cul-de-sac due to the shape of the property and the size that's available. We were getting ready to come up and discuss this with you tonight when the developer of this property informed me that he is in the process of obtaining some additional acreage at the end of one of the hammerheads that would negate the need for the hammerhead altogether. So therefore, what we're asking you to do is let us do our due diligence on this secondary purchase. And I'm not asking that you withdraw it, but if you would table it for 30 days, we'll probably will be coming back with a new plan which means we may not need one more for variances. So if you give us an opportunity, we appreciate it.
Okay, that would be the November 23rd meeting, correct? All right, can I get a motion to table?
Make a motion to table.
Motion from Commissioner Byrd and a second from Prater. Roll call, please.
Lowe,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Mowdy, Bird,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Knapp,
Yes. Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, thank you. All right, next item.
Christian Lane, proposed street variance to allow for a hammerhead, limits engineering.
Ditto. Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Lowe,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Mowdy,
Yes.
Bird,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Knapp.
And just to clarify, that is for the same November 23rd meeting, right? Okay. All right, we'll close adjourn the Board of Adjustment meeting and get back into our Planning Commission. Let's go ahead and do roll call for our Planning Commission.
Young,
Here.
Lowe, Ward,
Here.
Mowdy,
Here.
Bird,
Here.
Prater,
Here.
Knapp.
Here.
No, I didn't. All right, September meeting minutes. If I could get a motion to approve or any corrections from those.
Motion. Or second. Was this supposed to be first?
Motion. I got a motion from Commissioner Ward. Have a second?
Second.
Second from Mowdy. Roll call, please.
Lowe,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Mowdy, Bird,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Knapp.
Yes.
All right, the minutes are approved. I think you guys are just trying to make sure I'm awake. All right, first item.
Preliminary plat, Caden Place, Lemons Engineering.
All right, above that, we have our public hearing, so we don't have anything on the agenda for a public hearing, right, Laura? There's nothing. Okay, all right, so nothing for the public hearing, and then Kim read off our new business, first item. Courtney, if you want to give us a staff report for that preliminary plat.
He's pulling this one. Okay.
I think that one's tabled.
Okay,
This is in conjunction with the hammerhead, asking that this be tabled.
all right. Can I get a motion to table this?
Motion. Second.
All right, roll call, please.
Lowe,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Mowdy, Bird,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Knapp.
Yes.
All right, next item.
Final plat, Autumn Brook, Phase 1, Lemons Engineering.
All right, Kim, if you can reflect that in the minutes. All right, now, Courtney.
All right. So this is for Autumn Brook Phase 1. This received preliminary plat approval for 74 single-family lots, and they're currently asking to final plat 30 of them so that they can begin pulling building permits.
Courtney, if you would speak up just a little bit louder, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is Autumn Brook Phase 1. The preliminary plat was approved for 74 lots, but the applicant is now requesting 30 of those lots be final platted so they may begin the construction process. The total acreage is going to be 9.87 acres for the 30 lots they're requesting to plat. All of the lots meet the density and zoning requirements, and we have reviewed this. It includes lots 12 through 15, 22 through 34, 42 through 43, 59, 65 through 74. So it's kind of skipped around on the lot numbers, but as you can tell, it's all that southern portion of this plat. I know that they don't have asphalt down yet, but that can be a contingency. All of the contingencies that are left are fairly minor. The only one that staff had some concerns with was the right-of-way dedication. They've got it labeled, they've got Arkansas 89 labeled as 80 feet of right-of-way, but they're only showing 36 and 37 feet on their side. So we'll need to make sure that that additional right-of-way gets dedicated. Everything else has been either addressed or will be acceptable as a contingency.
Okay, thank you, Courtney. Anybody from Lemons you want to talk about? Just come on up, Tim.
Now, the right-of-way dedication on 89, the property line actually goes, not quite from the center line on our side of the road. So measured from the center line of the road, what we're showing is what would be needed to obtain our half of the 40-foot right-of-way. So the road is just not centered up on the right-of-way, that's what it amounts to. And that's based on bound iron pins that were actually located in the field. So it's not uncommon for highways to be off a couple of feet. This, in fact, is the case where it's off just a couple of feet. As far as the asphalt, I'd like to call your attention to a letter that I handed out just a few minutes ago. And for the record, I'd like to read that. This pertains to two incomplete items that were addressed as soon as possible. In this letter, I state here, Mr. Young, the final plat for phase 1 of Bottom Brook is before tonight's City Planning Commission meeting. As you are aware, disruptions to supply chains have impacted almost all projects in our area. These disruptions have led to delays in completing most projects. Bottom Brook is an exception. At present, the contractor is awaiting delivery of asphalt and pumps for the wastewater lift station. The asphalt is scheduled for installation on the streets next Monday, November 1st. While the pumps are scheduled for delivery this Friday, October 29th. To avoid yet another month of delays, developers do request that the Planning Commission to approve the final plat as presented. The final plat will not be filed until the asphalt is complete and approved by the city, which hopefully will be in the middle of next week. Furthermore, occupancy permits will not be issued until the wastewater lift station is operational to the city's requirements. Given the time of year, the developer is trying to get ahead of certain bad weather, and the filing of this plat to allow construction permits is paramount to the success of this development. We appreciate your consideration.
All right, is that it, Tim? Okay. Does the commission have any questions of the applicant or Courtney?
Chad, are they want to go ahead and begin building even though they don't have the asphalt in place?
They want approval of the final plat with some of the contingencies, one being the asphalt.
Right, and that's okay. I just don't want them to start pulling building permits until.
Yeah, we can't pull building permits because we can't take delivery of goods on the lots until the asphalt's down. So what we'd like to do is get your blessing of the final plat tonight. As soon as the asphalt is installed and the city has done their due diligence and review, then we will file the final plat, hopefully next week.
Yes, planning has no concerns with that.
Yeah, commission does have the ability to approve this with contingencies such as final asphalt being down and the other staff recommendations. So if you don't have any questions, I'd recommend approval based on the contingencies.
I'll make a motion.
I got a motion from Commissioner Prater,
Second.
a second from Mounty. Roll call, please.
Lowe,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Mowdy,
Yes.
Bird,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Knapp, I'm sorry.
Good. All right, the final plat is approved. All right, next item.
Final plat, lot 1, Rex and Sonia's place, Bond Consulting Engineers.
Courtney?
So this is located on Willow Lake Drive. It is adjacent to the city limits. This lot is just inside the city limits, and on the other side is out of city limits. This is owned by Rex Kaiser and Sonia Bates. It is currently zoned R1, and there's a proposed use of a single-family residential unit, so that's why they're asking for this lot to be created. It's currently 4.3 acres in size, and there are no structures on the site. And they're showing the large AP&L easement that's on the rear of this property. So the request is for the final plat of lot 1 of Rex and Sonia's place so that they can construct a single family home. There were no contingencies. Everything has been addressed.
Okay, thank you, Courtney. Aaron? Anything you want to say?
No, they don't have any questions.
Commissioners, any questions? Pretty straightforward.
Motion to approve.
I got a motion to approve from Lowe. Have a second?
So
Second from Bird. Roll call vote, please.
Lowe,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Mounty,
Yes.
Bird,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Connect.
Yes.
All right, that final plat is approved. All right, next item.
Replat lots 24R and 25R Mystery Lake at Greystone, Bond Consulting Engineers.
Courtney.
Yes, this is at 817 Cascade Drive. It's lot 24 and 25 currently, owned by Dennis and Marcy Corkle and Simon Seymour Real Estate. What they're doing is a small lot line adjustment. So they're just adjusting the line. I think it's probably to accommodate the driveway that has been constructed, but on the lot 24. So do you have the plat in the PowerPoint? It's a very small adjustment. And they've addressed all of their contingencies as well. So staff has no additional. As you can see, they're just shifting the line slightly over to the west at the top of at the frontage of the lot. So staff has no additional concerns.
Okay, Aaron, is there anything you want to add to this one? Commissioners have any questions? I'd entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion from Commissioner Byrd to approve. The second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Lowe. Roll call, please.
Lowe,
Yeah.
Ward,
Yes.
Mounty,
Yes.
Bird,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Connect.
Yes.
All right, that replat is approved. Next item, Kim.
Replat lot 50R Water's Edge at Cypress Creek, Bond Consulting Engineers.
Courtney?
So this is located at the northeast intersection of Greystone Boulevard and Waters Edge Drive. It's currently lot 51 and lot 50, owned by Aquila Properties. It is zoned R1. And the request is to actually combine those two lots into one lot. It was been reviewed by staff. And again, we don't have any remaining contingencies.
All right, thanks, Courtney. Aaron? Same. Commissioners? Questions? This feels like Groundhog Day. Motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Commissioner Byrd. Second from Ward. Roll call, please.
Lowe,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Mounty,
Yes.
Bird,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Connect.
Yes.
All right, that replat is approved. Next item, Kim?
Replat lots 14R and 15RR Valhalla subdivision.
Courtney?
Yes, this one's not quite the same, but pretty similar. So once again, Groundhog Day continues. This is located at 12 and 14 Iverness Court. It is currently lot 15R and is owned by Colin and Tanya Bailey. So this property was originally two lots. It was lot 14 and lot 15 of the Valhalla subdivision. And then the properties were combined at one point into one lot, 15R. And now they're asking to split them back into the original configuration. And so that's why we have a 14R and a 15RR result. There were some minor things left that have not been finished yet, but they're very minor and staff has no problem recommending that it be approved with just some minor contingencies as listed in the staff report.
Okay, thanks, Courtney. Anybody here, Chris Maxwell here? Or? Okay, you want to step up, and if there's anything else you want to add to? Sorry, again, your name again? I'm sorry. Colin Bailey. Okay.
Property, we previously requested permission to join pandemic time frame, like I said, building plan. It's going to be very necessary.
Okay. Great, thank you.
So, any questions?
Commissioners have any questions for him? Well, this is a good sign, all this, replatting and, people building houses. It's great for the city, so. Motion to approve from Commissioner Mounty. A second. Second from Commissioner Ward. Roll call, please.
Lowe,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Mounty,
Yes.
Bird,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Connect.
Yes.
All right, that replat is approved. Thank you. All right, next item, Kim.
Site plan, Lot 2R, Home Depot, Holiday Inn Express, Bond Consulting Engineers.
Courtney?
Yes, this is located on Home Depot Drive. It's the lot that was just replatted, and it touches Goings on the north side, but the part that they're working on for the site plan actually only accesses off of Home Depot Drive right now. It's currently vacant. It is zone C3, and the total of lot 2R is 6.48 acres, but this project does not occupy that entire 6.48 acres. It's just the portion on the south east side. So there's the entirety of lot 2R. The request is for a hotel and associated parking on that southeast side of lot 2R. You can see there's 2 connections to Home Depot Drive, and then there's one future connection on the northern part of this site that goes to the west, and that will hopefully be extended into future development. As you can see there on the plat, it says future development is to the north and west. There's some floodplain on the site, and the developer the engineer has been reviewing the drainage on that. We had a few comments left on this one, but I believe they've spoken to Laura and know what they need to do to get everything updated. They've submitted their architectural plans and their landscaping plans, and they're going to provide any of the updates that we have listed in the staff report as contingencies. So I think they've done a good job on getting all of this in. What we're waiting on is some fire flow information, and so they'll have that once their MEPs are submitted, so they know their flows.
You said fire plugs, Courtney?
Fire flow.
Oh,
They don't currently have the fire flow because they don't have the MEP, the mechanical, electrical. You know what an MEP is, but for everybody else, that's the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing drawings. And once they have all of those, then they'll be able to calculate adequately how much water they need.
Okay. Thanks, Courtney. Bobby, did you guys take a look at the layout for fire department access and egress? And you guys satisfied? Okay, thanks, Bob. Karen, this is yours. Anything you want to add to? I think staff's got a few.
No, I mean, it's one, she pretty much covered it all. I talked to Laura today at lunch, and, you know, we gotta get with the electrical engineer to make sure about some of the lights at the entrance, and basically we'll have to move the sign back a few feet to get 15 foot off the property line. But other than that, I believe everything else is good at practice.
Thanks, Aaron. Commissioner.
I have a question.
Where did you plan entrances and exits?
Well, the entrances they're all on Home Depot Drive. We may walk over there and start looking, show you. Future. Yes.
Aaron, what about dumpster location?
But if you look at the picture, it is
So top right,
orientation is the northeast.
yeah, top right box.
Yes.
Print's a little small.
The print's small, that's where it is.
And they have submitted they've submitted the plans for the enclosure for that dumpster, so it will be fully enclosed.
Does the landscape have an irrigation system?
Yes, that's an irrigation system.
There's floodline on property, floodline.
It's just flat line, no floodway.
How are we handling detention?
There is detention in the back.
The
We're actually
big
enlarging-
ditch, the ditch to the north.
Yeah, the ditch to the north, so back of the property, we're actually enlarging that, and that's where we're putting our detention.
Commissioners have any other questions? Another great sign for the city of Cabot. More development, that's great, outstanding. If not, I entertain a motion to approve with a few of the contingencies that staff has commented on.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve from Commissioner Mounty, do I have a second. Second from Commissioner Prater. Roll call, please.
Lowe,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Mounty,
Yes.
Bird,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Knapp,
Yes.
All right, site plan is approved. Next item, Kim.
site plan, Meadowbrook Apartments, Bond Consulting Engineers.
Courtney?
Yes, this project is located north of St. John Street, and that connects out to South Second Street. It was tabled last time because they had a few more things to address. So what the request is for 64 multifamily units on 5.42 acres. There will be 4 buildings, apartment buildings, 1 clubhouse building, 1 maintenance building, and a playground area, along with associated parking and dumpster areas. They have addressed several of the concerns that we had before with this site plan, and they've added additional turnaround space for the fire truck on the northern leg there. They widened that. It was originally smaller. They have added landscaping, and they've submitted their architectural plans that show they're in compliance with Cabot's UDC. There are a few comments left that can be approved as contingencies. So the biggest one is that buffer area that adjacent to single family residential. We've asked them to provide more landscaping on that west side to provide some buffer for those residential neighbors on the west side. And so basically, instead of leaving a 40-foot buffer, they're putting their parking within that 40 feet, but they're going to beef up the landscape on that side to provide some more buffer, so they're not intrusive. Most of the other conditions have been addressed. I think there was just one remaining question about the type of irrigation for the landscaping, but none of these should. Staff would be okay with approving these as contingencies.
Okay, thanks, Courtney. Aaron?
Yeah, so we talked about this today at lunch as well. And the irrigation, just so everybody knows, we'll address this formally on the site plan, but the irrigation, there's a maintenance building, which is just in the little curve there, as you're going to the north, shows a little building there, that's the maintenance building. So they're going to, all the irrigation will come out of that building. That's how they will, they'll have hose bibs and run hoses, and that's how they're going to do their irrigation. So they won't actually hook up to a building itself. Everything will come out of that maintenance building. And then we discussed, we've got a fence between the residential and ours. And we discussed going through there and adding some more trees, like she said, just to beef up between the 2 different zones. We're going to revise our landscape plan.
Aaron, what about the grade difference, looking at the west side, the parking area as it abuts the residents there? How much taller is that parking lot from the adjacent neighbors?
Are we talking about the house to the north or the subdivision to the south?
I'm
On
trying
the
to,
west, west line.
yeah, the
West
west
side.
line, yeah.
There's not a lot of great difference. There's not any water that will pond. There's not gonna be any water ponding on the adjacent property owners. That's what you're asking.
I'm thinking of the height. I'm looking at all the contours where that parking lot is on the west side and just wondering what's the sight line from the neighbors to the
Hopefully
west?
with the fence and the trees, the sideline will be see. might see a car, or someone's got a jacked up truck, 6-foot lip or something on it. It's only, there's a couple feet difference. It's not anything extra.
Yeah, it looks like about 3 feet, yeah, contour lines.
Yeah, every contour line you see there, is 1 foot. And all that water goes to the south, that's where all of our detention is.
How are you handling, I'm picking on the west side, how are you handling that on the west side? Is it just surface, is it a swell through there, or is it a pipe?
There's no pipe, there is some pipe through, the actual parking lot itself. But the rest of the water is just gonna drain to the south. There's not, we ended up having to add a sidewalk in there, but there's not another concrete swell. So it's all landscape.
Commissioners, have any other questions?
What about the roads? What do you got planned for roads?
Yeah, so, I mean, we will do our half-street improvements, curb, gutter, we're closing in the ditch, putting in pipe. So, what's the road's name?
St. John.
St. John.
Yeah, so St. John's will actually, on our side, we're actually going to widen it, curb and gutter and pipe. So we'll be doing sidewalks, sidewalks as well.
Apartments that we had some issues on South Line. A lot of it was with the neighbors, height of the fence, and then we'll put extra fencing, higher fencing and all that. So what height of fencing planning on that west side? Just gonna be a wood fence, normal 6-footer, but
It's a wood privacy fence, it's the, I don't remember the exact height, it's whatever required in the landscape code.
that's 6 foot.
The plans currently say that it is a 6-foot wood privacy fence.
Aaron, is trash handled in between the units C and D?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different, places for the dumpster. As you come in on St. John, there's one right there, and there's some between the units.
Government.
Turn around.
You know, what's that? For that driveway, you need to put the flagpole that says drive through gate. What?
Mayor, I think we can hear you.
Okay.
Thanks. Aaron, I'm looking for the dumpster over by St. John. I don't see that located. I see parking spaces against St. John.
It's to the east. It's a little stub out to the east. It's where if you were backing out of your parking space,
Yes.
but it's set back deep enough that you should have room to back out, but also room for the dumpster. On that southern leg, over far to the east.
Yeah, I see that. Okay, Aaron, anything else?
Unless y'all have any more questions.
Commissioners have any other questions?
Only question I
Something
have,
Official Mike.
the only question I have is, just so that we don't deal with a lot of complaints from the west side. My question would be, I know that we have the 6-foot fence deal, but you were talking about elevation change of the parking lot. It just seems to me like there's a major difference if you had an 8-foot fence over a 6-foot fence. Because if you're just putting a 6-foot fence and then you have a tree every 20, feet or 25 feet, and half of them die, and you're just back to where you're gonna be complaints, and I'm not trying to add something to it, but it seems on the front end that it seems hard. Then there's just, if you're already elevated in a parking lot, 6 foot, then it looks like 4 feet.
Yeah, if there's 3 feet of fall on the other side of that, where the car is, I mean, you only got a 5 foot or 5 foot, if it's an 8 foot fence.
Well, I mean, we'll be more than glad to evaluate that. It looks like in a certain area where the parking lot is elevated a lot more, we might be able to stair step something in there to make it more opaque. So I mean, we can definitely evaluate that and look at it. Try to go above and beyond your recommendations, kind of, or your requirements, which is what we're kind of doing with the landscaping anyway. So I mean, they're really trying to be good neighbors and do everything they can. So we'll evaluate that and see what we can do if the parking lot is high.
Okay, thanks, Aaron.
You bet.
So this is a site plan review. This is not a part of the public hearing, but I know there's probably several folks here from the neighborhood that may want to speak. So if you would like to come on up and give you just a few minutes to speak, and before we go back to the commission. I know this guy.
You're on the right track for the water situation. Because right now, the water from that property, this dot's not here. On the west side, first house, first. That water right now is coming across the property, right on St. John. And if we get one of those downpours, the street is flooded with water. Curb to curb right now. As it is. It's close. Then you got all this other water coming down St. John from 10th Street. So that curb never broken all the way. Getting down to that corner. So it's all against the area before it moves to the ditch. And I have built my driveway to keep the water into the street. It's still, it's not, it's pain in the neck and something. I think it's double driveway. It's about that high, to keep the water. If it wasn't for that, you get the water from my driveway. Going across there, wasn't like what you up here. I can have trash cans like this, but trash cans in there. First comes across. So that, what it is, that street, right, on my driveway, there's some curve. Maybe like a fall, that's just not curve, the break. Another thing we're concerned about is I don't know where your exit is, because I can't see it right here. Coming on St. John. So you have all the apartments. But please do not dump that crap on St. John. We got 2,800 cars a day going through there now. And what we do, we've got emergency vehicles going through there. Buses going through there. And I saw them get killed the other day because of cars. And there's 3 sets of parents ready to be charged. The street stay up all the time. Did not. These cars are not stopping at the stop sign on 10th Street. They're flying. Speed bump or no speed bump. They're flying. And so they dump it in that curve. And us, we're in the curve. We can back out. You have to put directions. And this, it's wonderful. We have got it. And each time we try to split our driveway, it's like we're getting shot. That's the steeper. That's so when that happens, that's the impact. That is a major. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Well, that needs to be really addressed on through. The traffic that don't want St. John. I mean, they design another entrance.
Yeah,
Someplace else.
there's 2 entrances, Mr. Brown. And sorry,
I haven't seen, I can't see it.
for the record, Mr. Brown, what's your address?
19.
19 St. John.
19 St. John.
Okay.
She's at 17 St. John. And this whirlpool that's across the street is at 20 St. John, which is the west side. The apartments are backing up to her. She can't be here at night, because she's not the whole 30.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Brown. So I got a couple of questions for Aaron based on what you, unless, is there anything else?
I can't think of.
Okay, all right. Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah,
I'm about to say, what? It's all right.
yeah,
Why don't you let all of them make their comments and then you can ask them.
that works. You can state your name and address.
Deborah Roy, 17 St. John Street, it's actually the first time we ever on the one meetings. The
Welcome.
only reason I'm coming is because of safety. Said, I mean, you have your road coming out on St. John, and I live on 17, right at that curve. And I don't know how many times I've been hit, or not hit, until I almost hit, mowing my grass, because people come around that curve and you can't see it. And you have another road on that, I don't know what the road is coming out of, but anywhere near that curve is gonna be dangerous. Talk about the water. Anytime it rains really hard, my lawn looks like a river running through it. It comes to the front, on my side, all the way back to the back. My back road is like a pizza shape. And it goes floods all the way down there. Put cold water on it, it's gonna be a problem. That culvert yard talking about filling in. I have to agree, I agree with filling the culvert. My husband just wrecked his car there a couple weeks ago because with this dog and the mud took his tire, and we just got the car a week before that. I'm like Mr. Brown. I believe everybody should have a place to live. I'm advocating for homes and everything else, but it's where you want the roads. We have kids, we have animals that shouldn't realize what they do, but they cause accidents there. We need to watch where we put the roads, and the landscape sounds beautiful, but coming out on St. John, if you put it too close to the road, you're gonna have a visual problem. I know there's several places in Cabot where I really have to put my nose out on the road to see past the trees. Beautiful, love it, but it's dangerous. All I care about is keeping everybody safe, keeping my yard, my grandkids, my great grandkids safe. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Would repeat everything Ronnie said about the main thing that I care about, and for all of y'all,
You can state your name and your address, please.
Harold Brown, been his substitute teacher before, so I know him. But you know, we've had the same place. That's why Ronnie knows the water. Over 40 years, older than some of the people. You know, so we've watched it over the years. He's spring strained us, he's done everything he can. You know, let's say, but I worry about Miss Scott, you know, she doesn't help her take her things. And I appreciate the fence, because I know that would be great for her. She doesn't plan on staying there. But it's just gonna be too dangerous if they try to go at the end of Miss Scott's property and drive it. I don't know how to do it in a safe manner. If you figure out how to do it in a safe manner, that's fine, but I don't know how to do that. I think she'll just run her a drive all the way down to the dollar store and come in the side. I don't know what the problem would be coming into the old highway. And, but safety has to be first. And like they said, I was one of those people that was running into the streets and saying that the 2-year-old, you know, because they fly through it. Our mailbox got knocked down. Right, it may be a beautiful red and glass mailbox. They estimated that woman was going 62 miles an hour. 62. I would say the average speed on that road is 45 feet. And the semi, okay, that never comes from, semis are coming through there. United and they're coming through there. So we've got a traffic problem. If y'all want to come and sit in my driveway early in the morning, before school traffic starts, and late afternoon, it's bumper to bumper, just like it is down the both sides. But I appreciate your time.
Thank you. So Laura, I wanted to ask about that street. Is there any type of traffic slowing devices down there in terms of, or Brian, anything that, is there any type of speed bumps that we could consider or something?
There is,
Yes, there is 50 miles calling the box on St. John.
yeah, it's like, Mayor told us that redo the street, that put some new speed bump, like the ones down the block. Something that will stop. I said, you know, we have
Well, Aaron, you'll come up and address some of those issues on drainage and traffic flow and safety. Now, it doesn't look like we're widening the street, right? I mean, you're doing improvements on that side with curb and gutter and sidewalk, but it doesn't look like we're doing any type of widening or, you know.
We're widening it to meet our half of the requirement of the road. We're not taking the entire road widening, no, we're doing what's required of our half. So the storm drainage, I mean, I don't, you know, I don't really know how to address it other than the drainage calculations and the pot sizing is such to accommodate a 25-year storm by your code. We're actually collecting, it's hard to tell in that picture, it's actually almost a parallel pot if you look at it. With all the storm drainage that's coming off the property, we're keeping it in a separate pot, running it to the property that's towards the Dollar General, and then all the other storm drainage that comes underneath the street is in another pot. I mean, that's why you have this gentleman over here. I mean, we're getting off technical on drainage design and everything else, but that's, I mean, it's all there to accommodate what's required. I don't know what else.
Right, just to reassure the residents that state law requires you not to put too much discharge out on, off of your property onto other people's
Best
property.
engineering practices is that you don't discharge any more than what's currently discharged. So we are to detain a certain amount of water or exits the property for a certain amount of time. And that's, we have done all of those things.
Okay.
And then to address the driveways, the driveway to the east lines up with as close as we could with, I believe it's Collins.
That's right.
And then what we did is we then put our other driveway as far down St. John as we could to give that separation between the two driveway entrances. So the two driveways that go on to St. John's, you know, that's the reason those are there where they're at.
You couldn't put it in the curve because that's not your property,
It's not
right?
our problem.
Yeah. Okay. Any other comments? Hopefully we answered.
Y'all have some.
Hopefully we answered some of y'all's questions. Yes, ma'am. One last question. It's right before the curve.
Yeah, right before the curve. I mean, I had to look at my Google Maps. Yeah, I don't know the address, but there's a house on the south side of St. John, right before the curve, got a really long driveway. It's gonna be really close to that driveway. Best I can tell. Right. Actually, it's gonna be west of that driveway.
All right, thanks, Aaron. So other than that, it meets current zoning, met all the other EDC requirements and staff requirements. I think there was a few contingency items in the site plan. So other than that, I bet he's here for community input. Yeah. So I'll open up to commissioners. If you guys have questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve based on contingency from staff.
Only thing I had, it sounded like Aaron, you were saying that most waters go out by Dollar General, so the thing, they're not gonna have any water. One of the pipes will go out by Dollar General. The one on the street is just collecting the rain that's already, water that's already coming.
So there's two pipes that go,
You don't have to do that, just tell us what's.
well, it's all going where it always goes. It all drains to the east, and that's where it's all going, and that's where we're taking.
So it shouldn't take any of the water drainage that we're talking about that's coming off the west.
What comes from the west to the east.
Is that right? The water you're talking about from west to east.
Running on the dots, backs up to. That's right. That's the lake, used to be there before, just put a railroad ties. Everything else is right. And when it now, it's converted on her property, down to the border. There you go. Didn't break it. For her property. Right, the bird on that water now. It's still across. It's still across.
Yeah, this development's not going to allow any more water to go to the south of St. John. It's going on the north side of St. John, down that ditch towards the Dollar General. Yeah, running east. So
Right.
yeah, the only place that's open is just the mouth of the driveway, but those are collected internally with open grades.
Is that new drainage coming, that you're gonna provide, is that gonna help to alleviate some of that out of their neighborhood?
I haven't done a drainage study of the neighborhood, so it's really hard to answer that question. I mean, there are probably, I'm guessing, there's probably pipes too small underneath driveways, there's probably ditches that aren't wide enough, there's probably a multitude of issues in the subdivision itself that as it gets down the line, it just compounds over and over, which causes, as the water goes down, it causes an issue that is being seen. But that would take someone probably doing a drainage study of the entire subdivision to figure out what's going on.
And we heard wireless. You could walk through there to talk it to. The guy at most. So that's coming off of that field into her property. May not be on the other side of the street, but it is her and it is part of it. And then I know it's her.
Sure. Yeah, the engineer is going to assure us that it's going to follow the path where he's. Yeah, we know where he lives. We know where he lives. So
I like it. It looks to me like it's gonna help.
This development's catching all the water on this development right
Yeah,
there. Okay. And piping it to the Dodge.
real good, real quick. One try it out. I got confused. I don't have a point. So I don't know where Miss Dot lives, so you'll have to.
Bottom left.
She lives over here somewhere. Okay, so all this water that's coming across, we've got a pipe right here. It's that dark line. I can't point. And all that water is coming down here to St. John's. Whatever water is going that way is now being collected in a pipe and going down to St. John.
how big of a pipe is it?
I don't.
16?
My main thing is
Sounds to me like for the city, I mean, speed bumps, police presence, things of that nature will slow things down. pretty quickly.
Traffic study.
Traffic studies, yeah.
Some of these are bigger issues, I think, that we can tackle right here today. So I think right now, the proposed site plan meets all the criteria. He's done his due diligence with drainage calculations and meeting the guidelines. So right now, we'll let the commission.
Bring somebody down this way, bring them out of this way. When you're coming down this street, you can't even see into that curve.
Mr. Brown, we got to finish our meeting here. I know we
You don't know how many you are. If you approve that one down there at the dollar store, but not that one, and that's, in that curve, it's gonna get somebody killed. I'll guarantee you that.
we'll ask our planning department to take a look at that area. All right, commissioners, any other questions? Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve from Commissioner Lowe. Do I have a second? Second from Commissioner Prater. Roll call, please.
Lowe,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Mowdy,
Yes.
Bird,
No.
Prater,
No.
Knapp,
Yes.
All right, 4-2, the yeses have it. All right, that site plan is approved. Now we are going to go into community input. And is there any other topics of conversation? Do we have something from our Boy Scout or Eagle Scout here that you would come up and state your name and
Miles Keaton, and right now I'm in Center for basically two scouts are working the same thing. Committee should. Yeah, citizenship. And for that, we have to interview on this.
all right, which one do you want to interview?
That,
Hey, why didn't y'all volunteer? Can we interview after the meeting?
yeah.
Okay, sounds good. I'll let everybody else go home. I think everybody's freezing. Y'all just remember that, all right? Next time y'all are, all right. Anybody else got anything? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor, say aye. All right, see you guys next month. Thank you all.
Thank
Our
you.
interviewees, come on up.
We only have to ask 3 questions.